Hey guys and girls from the 8-ball world, my name is Joshua King and I'm just hoping I can grab 5 or 10 minutes of your time just for this short video. The reason for my video is a tournament that's coming up in a few weeks' time. The 2019 Kings Cup will be played at the Harmonie German Club over the Queen's birthday long weekend, June 8, 9 and 10. This is a tournament that, this will be its 5th year. We've had 4 fantastic years so far. It's a tournament that my father created. Now, Barry King was a very, very solid 8-ball player. Played plenty of nationals, plenty of New South Wales state teams for the Masters and things like that. So a lot of you people out there may have known him from tournaments like the Nationals and Alburys and Geelongs and things like that. And around about 5 years ago, Dad had a vision for a tournament to start. He called it the Kings Cup. The first one was actually run out of the Fishwick Tavern in ACT, and since then it's been run out of the Harmonie German Club, which is where we've had a Nationals and a few other tournaments as well. As I say, this is the 5th year running, and this video is just to sort of promote that tournament. At the moment, Matt Harmon is the tournament director. Now, a little bit before last year's tournament, in March last year, my old man actually passed away. Last year was pretty emotional for me to attend, and since that tournament, I've actually left the ACT. I've moved from there and I'm back up in Brisbane and the Gold Coast. So I play 8-ball up here in both the Brisbane Districts Association and the Gold Coast Association. And that's where my old man, Dad Barry, used to play as well. So he's played a lot around Australia. He knows plenty of people from all the states and territories. So I do just want to give this tournament a plug because we're looking at getting the numbers up this year. And I just wanted to send this shout out. Big shout out to Justin Sage. He's probably been the classiest player in the last sort of 12 months with regards to how much he's been playing all over the world. You will have seen him in the World Cup of Pool most recently, and also he unfortunately went down in the Big Guns final to Mick Hill from the UK, but no disgrace there. Justin's a 4-peat champion. He's won at the first 4 events, and that's not to say the players who have been up against him in the tournament haven't been any high class. We've had your Rusties, we've had your Jake McCartneys, David Rothel, the Roth actually went down in the final last year to Justin Sage in a massive Hill tournament, Hill match. Della was there last year. We've had a lot of ACT's best players with your likes of Matty Harmon and things like that as well. So I want to give a big shout out to blokes like Steve Jamison, who's been coming every year. Jeremy Maguire, unfortunately, had to miss last year, but he's been a massive sponsor of the tournament with Sorrell's Locksmiths. He's been a big supporter and supplies the trophies and things like that every year. So what my dad's vision was for this tournament, going to tournaments every year like Albury and Geelong and Nationals, what he wanted to do was take all the good things from these tournaments that he felt worked and put them into one tournament and create an elite level tournament in the ACT. I think he's done that. Every year we sort of aim for that 100 players. We've got a staggered entry fee, so your elite players will pay that little bit more. It's 100 for your elite players, 75 for your intermediate, and 50 for your novice. And what we've seen is a good spread of elite as well as local players too. So we've had plenty of interstate players come over the years, people from Queensland, people from Victoria, South Australia and Tasmania, as well as throughout New South Wales. So I just want to give another little bit of a shout out to the tournament to get more of those elite players. So far on the list this year, I think with 3 weeks to go, we've got about 60 players booked in. So I'm really hoping in the next few weeks those entries can come in and we can crack that 100 to get a fantastic tournament running. I think last year or the year before we might have had 89, and that's our biggest event. Look, it's a great tournament in the making, and what the elite players love about this, once you've gotten through that group format, which you find on the Saturday, which you find at other tournaments like your Alburys and your Geelongs, you move into a single elimination random knockout. But the great thing about this is the races are long. Your races right from the start are races to 8, and as you get to the final, moves on to a race to 11. So the long races are what the elite players are looking for. They just sort of give those guys who want to win these tournaments the most amount of chances. I think, not to knock any other tournaments, but I think what we look at with your Alburys and that, when you got races to 3, 4s and 5s, a lot of those players can get knocked out in the smaller races. But what it also does for the local players and your lesser players is it exposes them to those better players. There's nothing more fun than for me, who are very much considered an intermediate player, nowhere near that sort of elite level. I love challenging myself against those guys in longer races. Whether the scoreline reads 8-2 or 11-2 or something at the end of it, it's a great thrill to get to play those guys and expose to better players and how they play the game. That's sort of the format that we see now. When I talk about the local players, I do want to give another call out to a young girl. Now, I mentioned that the dad passed away last year. A day earlier, there was another young girl, another young ACT player, Alicia Avaa, who also passed away. And plenty of you will know her parents, Tolly and Margaret. They've been stalwarts in the national game of 8-ball. Plenty of nationals under their belts, and they travel to tournaments everywhere. Unfortunately, their young daughter, Alicia, passed away a day earlier than Dad, and this tournament is as much hers and their families as it is mine. So we'll see a little bit of a tribute to her every year as well within this tournament. And I think that's one thing to remember as well is Dad and Alicia sort of just love the game, and this represents them. So, yeah, just a bit of a plea to the interstate players. Guys, get your entries in when you can. Jump onto all the Facebook pages. The ACT Kings Cup, ACT Optical Kings Cup has actually got a Facebook page. The Eventbrite link there is there. You can jump on to join the tournament. As I say, it is a staggered entry fee. Guys, the venue itself is absolutely fantastic, the Harmonie German Club. It's got an amazing restaurant, amazing facilities. Paul Berger, the manager, a great mate of Dad's, runs the place, and he does a fantastic job. There's places to stay all around there. Next door, you've got a Best Western. 50 metres further down the road, there's an Adobe Hotels. So there's no shortage of places to stay. Airbnbs all around the place as well. Yeah, it'd be great to get more and more people down there. These tournaments, look, another shout out to another tournament that'll be not long after is the Killer Crossover. I think the best thing we can do for 8-ball in Australia at the moment is just cross-promote and get as many promotions out there. You've got money matches going on everywhere. The Killer Crossover's got its satellites going on in the next few weeks as well. So if you're local to one of those satellites, it's a great chance to maybe qualify for a tournament that you might not normally think about. If you are one of those elite players, there's plenty of ways that those satellites pay for your flights and pay for your entry fees and things like that. So it's a great way to get into a tournament like that. I mentioned the money matches. Queensland's got a couple coming up in the next couple of weeks. We've got a good money match with Brent Reed and Jana D'Amica from the SA. That'll be held at Q Masters. There's a couple of undercard events there. Brett Broderick from Queensland is playing Greg Siegel, who's been in the last couple of New South Wales state teams. Not too long after that, I think on June the 1st, is a massive money match. Andy Barnett has been well-travelled. Great bloke there. He's played Brett Rogers the last few times, and he's really stepped up this challenge now. He'll take on Steve Woods, New South Wales /ACT. Stevie doesn't need any introduction to pool in Australia. So this will definitely be Andy's biggest challenge so far, and Stevie Woods is definitely up for it and playing plenty on the table. So they're looking at a pot there that's going to be well over 50K. So guys, tune into the live stream there. I'm not too sure sort of where the live stream's going through, but definitely one to look out for. Again, it'll be advertised on all your main Facebook pages throughout your 8-ball and you know, your local Gold Coast Association, Brisbane Association, 8-ball Players of Australia page as well. So jump onto that one. But look, guys, that's it. Actually, I do want to run through the sponsors. Forgive me if I miss anyone, but ACT Optical is the naming rights sponsor. Suraj in ACT, he's got a couple of shops. Anyone needs your glasses or anything like that, jump in and see this guy. He's supported ACT Pool, but more than that, he supports the local community with regards to local sport and anything to do with juniors and things like that. Absolutely fantastic family man. ACT Optical, you've obviously got the Harmonie German Club, which I've mentioned. Eagle Eye Cleaning, Glenn Thompson. Diamond Brickworks, Malachi McNeil. Sunday Soccer with Danny Marlowe. Capital Playing Cards with Graham O'Connell. On Cue, obviously a massive sponsor there. Mongrel supplies all the tables, has done forever. Anyone obviously in the local ACT area or surrounds, if you do need a table, contact Mongrel. His details will come up on the screen. Let me look at this shirt that I've got on. This is the ACT shirt. Now, I think I've got a screenshot there of the ACT, the Kings Cup shirts for 2019. Fantastic looking shirts. Look, I'm not too sure you can grab them now. I think you did have to order prior. But if you do want to, contact the tournament director in Matt Harmon on Facebook, and I'm sure he'll be able to figure out something. JBA Qs, Jimmy Alexander does an absolutely amazing job in making Qs for the last few years. Jason Tanaskovic, one of ACT's top players, directly sponsored by him, and he swears by the cues. They're fantastic as well. What else have we got? Sorrell's Locksmiths, I already mentioned them. Obviously, Jerry Maguire down in Tasmania. Anyone needs his services down in Tassie, by all means, give him a call. He can give you a hand. Handyman Pro, again, great sponsors there. Unique Electrical and Data, they'll be sponsoring a junior tournament, actually, that's going to coincide on the Sunday of the King's Cup. So it'd be fantastic to get plenty of local juniors there for that one. Express Pickup and Delivery. I'm pretty sure Ray Morgan over in Queanbeyan does express pickup and delivery. I haven't got his logo up at the moment, so I'll try and get that up shortly. And yeah, any courier needs or anything like that in the Queanbeyan, Canberra area, you can get in touch with him. Look, that's it, guys. I apologise if I've missed anyone. We did just want to obviously give a plug to the sponsors because they do contribute so much to the tournament, which adds on to obviously all the admin costs, but puts back in the pool as well. There is a massive cutter on this one as well. I think last year the pool got up to about 6,000. Run a little bit different. So if you do want to know a little bit more about the Calcutta, it's a 50% buy-in on the night where you sort of bid for players, but it's also 50% pre-sold tickets. So jump onto the Facebook page for the King's Cup, and there's a write-up on how that all works. Everything in pool these days is live stream. The King's Cup will be exactly the same. I'm pretty sure Kenny Nicol with Cue Ball, in partnership with Cue Ball TV, will be live streaming most of the tournament, and he does some fantastic job. Everything's run by Poolstat with regards to scoring, so everything's kept up to date with live scoring. As I say, guys, bit of an impromptu video. Just wanted to run through whatever I could. So if this can get a few more entries into the tournament, that'll be fantastic. I'm going to share this across all the Facebook pages. As I say, tournament for Barry King, Alicia Alvara, in their honour, but plenty of elite players and local players are going to absolutely love this tournament and for many years to come. So the challenge is out for all you elite players. Justin Sage is going for his 5-peat. Someone knock him off. He's the best player in Australia at the moment. He's playing plenty of American pool, but he's playing plenty of two-shot 8-ball as well. See if you can beat him. Cheers, guys.